Hello and welcome to NFL Chaos with Jeremy. I am Jeremy, and I bring the chaos. So we have potentially a special guest. This is a special edition. It's a show that doesn't really exist. It's a show that I'm doing because we have somebody in Ireland who might be joining us. I am not sure because he's feeling under the weather and he hasn't gotten back to me. So I don't know if he's coming in or not. But we will find out. If not, we'll have a little chat right after this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Go. Amazing. That's my boy. That's my boy.
He breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds, too.
It's no good. It's overtime. Oh, what a catch. How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown.
This is a touchdown all the way.
He reached over the pylon. San Francisco beat Cincinnati.
Oh, man. I forgot my peanut butter cups. I had a big container of Trader Joe peanut butter cups, and I totally forgot them. And what reminded me of it is I saw a chat message from Jets Mess saying, hey, snacks. And I forgot my snacks. But maybe that's good because I am getting really, really fat. What's up, Harry? Good to see you. Grandizer in the house. Hey, Jeremy. I have been busy. Good morning. Are you okay today? Not upset. I'm not upset. You know, it's funny. I'm not upset because there's no OBJ to the Jets. Is that a rumor? Did that happen? You're messing with me, man. No. You insulted him just a little bit. You were a little out of line yourself. You keep quoting that line. Maybe it was maybe J. Cole upset him a little bit. I don't know. I know I didn't do anything wrong. That's all. I'm not taking any accountability for what happened yesterday. For those of you who don't know, don't worry about it. I take it more personally that somebody who I thought was a friend, and I was supporting their channel like crazy. And this is totally fine. This just happened in the last like week and a half or so. And it's totally cool if somebody decides, hey, this is not really working. I'd rather go a different direction. This is not exactly your format, Jeremy. Like all of that is totally cool. But they didn't do that. They just ghosted me in the sense of just stop sending the link. No conversation about it. No, why are you not on my show anymore? And I couldn't care less. I was doing someone a favor, honestly. It was a favor. It was out of friendship. It was just out of loyalty of, let me promote your channel as much as possible. I'll go on it and I'll help you out as much as I can. It's not that I didn't have fun, but I'm saying it wasn't exactly something that I needed to do or was beneficial for my channel. It was completely really to help somebody else. So it's a little hurtful. I'm going to be honest. Somebody going crazy in the chat and being upset that I don't take their picks. I mean, I have two choices. I could either stop doing mock drafts or I could accept the fact that there's going to be some people that get upset and take it too seriously and get mad and leave the channel because they don't like who I pick or if I don't like their players. And that's just going to happen. I can't control that. But the other thing is just weird. It's just like send a message. It just says, hey, man, my partner and I don't want you on our channel anymore, like for whatever reason, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't fit our format. You don't have to do us that solid anymore. Cause I thought I was doing them a solid. They would thank me for coming on. So it's kind of strange. So that bothered me a little bit, but I'm over that. You know what I mean? Now I just have to sometimes talk about it online, like with you guys, and vent a little bit. But it doesn't matter because I learned that, and I've learned in life, me and my wife the hard way have learned. Sometimes when you help people, some people are really going to take that help and accept it and be grateful and really loyal to you and a good friend for it. And they'll help you right back. And some people don't. They don't appreciate it. They shit on you, and they take it for granted. And we have two choices in life. Do we stop being helpful to people? Oh, take care, Dark Soldier. Thank you so much. Do we stop being helpful to people? Do we say, well, I got burned, so I'm not going to be helpful to people. I'm not going to do favors for people. Or Or do I just do it, stay the person I am, stay true to myself, be a good person to help people, and know and just better prepare emotionally and mentally that people are going to screw you? It's like, and then some people are not going to screw you. Like, for example, Green Bean and I have this great relationship where we're always supporting each other. I'll do everything I can to support him. He's done so much to support me. And it's mutual, and we like help each other out, and we want what's best for each other. And we value that relationship. Because I think we both are old enough and experienced enough to know that that's what makes life worth living, like developing those kind of relationships. And it's weird for me when people don't get it. Like when people aren't like that. I don't know what happens in their life or what their thinking is for becoming that kind of person. But it just happens. Like where all of a sudden it's like nothing you did for them carries any weight or anymore. It's like, like it's basically I've done 12 to 15 nice things, and I did one thing you didn't like, and now you're going to forget all the things I did for you, and you're going to just now live and define me as the one thing you didn't like, instead of talking about it and saying, hey, this is why. This is why I got bothered by something, or you know what I mean? It's just the whole thing is very strange. Hey, Owen, what's going on, man? It's good to see you, man. You have to tell us the channel. No, I'm not trying to bury anyone or ditch anybody, and I'm certainly, and a lot of you might go over for curiosity and help them. And I'm not going to, I'm done helping them. So I'm not going to give them the publicity that they might be looking for. Not that I have so many people here or watching my video that would run over there, but it doesn't matter. It's like, and and it's just in case people remember me. This is not the show I used to be on in November last year or whatever. I don't want you to think of the wrong person, because I thought that. I go, oh shit, maybe they'll think it's Frankie. It's like, I'm not talking about Frankie and I. Frankie and I did a show, and then me starting my own channel was a very mutual thing that it was talked about. Like it mentioned, I'm going to start my own channel now. And it was not this thing. He didn't ghost me and stop sending me the links to his shows and throw me off his channel or anything like that. So I didn't want to create a rumor like that. There's nothing to do with that. This has happened in the last 10 days. So if you don't know, it means it doesn't matter, because it means you weren't watching me over there on that channel anyway. And it just shows that it was meaningless to my channel. It means nobody was watching. Nobody here is even aware I was doing it. So what's the point? It just gives me my time back. So like on Sunday mornings, for example, I'll be able to, especially during the season, instead of being on air the hour before the game and then jumping on to Jet Nation with Green Bean, I'll be able to do like a preview or something, or like, like maybe 20 minutes before the game starts, jump on and remind you that I'm going to be on Jets Nation and with Green Bean, and we're going to be watching the game and maybe give predictions of what's going to happen or what our hopes are, just do something a little different than me being tied onto a different channel that's bringing no value to this channel. My Finn's buddy said that he saw OBJ to the Jets. I have not looked it up. Thought you'd know. We definitely, I think I was on Twitter about 20. Sometimes I think, oh my God, but then I realized I was on Twitter 15 minutes ago. I was leaving Joe Blewett a message on Twitter to something he had done. So I was looking. So that reminds me that I was looking through Twitter, and if the Jets were getting OBJ, or if there's any real, story there, it would have been on Twitter, because the Jets fans, like I said, are the busiest, most active Twitter Jet fans in the world. Sack Exchange would have been all over it. I would have seen an Eon Rappaport tweet or Connor Hughes. I would have seen so many people. Nick Shine, who's here, would have definitely been on. Hey, Nick, who are you rooting for, dude? I know you're a Carolina fan, but aren't they playing the Peacocks, the Jersey City guys that you were all into? I was thinking that when I saw your post the other day. I was like, who's he rooting for? That's horrible that they have to play each other, but man, how exciting. What a run this team is going on. It's crazy. But who do you root for, dude? He's not going to the Jets. He's not going to the Jets. The Jets don't need somebody who's going to not even play until week 8. I wouldn't think, I don't think OBJ is going to come at a bargain. So he's just not a match for Joe Douglas. I don't think. That's my opinion. Yeah. So I don't know where he's going to end up. It's going to be interesting. Tibbs, Burks, Dean, Brisker. Jacob, you love to do that. He always gets his 4 picks. Tibbs, Burks, Dean, Brisker. Yeah, man. I liked London too. Drake London. What do you think about Drake London? I didn't like him because he was coming off an injury, and I was down on Drake London. But now, after watching a lot of tape and everything, it's really hard not to be uppity on Drake London. But Burks looks great in the tape also, right? I mean, they're exciting guys. I would love to trade down and get Burks, like take the 10 and trade it to like 18 to 22, and still get him and gain a bunch of draft capital. How awesome would that be? But hey man, I would not complain if we ended up with Tibbs, Burks, Dean, Brisker. I would be very, very, very happy. I just don't know if Dean slips to the second round for the 35th pick, but if he does, awesome. Thanks, Owen. Yeah, look at this. This is where we get our information. Can't expect people to be who you are. Accept that, and these things won't be easy to accept. Yeah, man. I know. You're right. It's true. You can't force people to be who they are. You know what I mean? Like, you can't force them to be what you want. They are who they are. You have no control over it. And I say it, and I give that advice to people all the time, but it still doesn't make it it still doesn't make it, like, you know what I mean? I still like have to follow my own advice. I have to remind myself of that. I may no longer support them if they did something dirty. It wasn't really dirty. It was just kind of like not manning up. Like, if you don't want, like, they didn't do anything to screw me. It was just like, instead of this person saying, it's okay, you don't have to be on the channel anymore. Or, like, I know, thank you. Thank you for the 3 or 5 months or however long it's been of coming on my show whenever you could. Thank you. Thank you for promoting the shit out of my channel on your show. Like, but for the benefit of my channel, I think it's best I go a different direction. That's fine. That's like, hey, good luck. Hey, man. All right. Thanks for letting me know. I don't want you to feel obligated, because it was getting to be tolling on me based on how much effort I put into my channel. But just say it. Like, that's the thing. So it's not like, oh, if you follow that person, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. It's not a travesty if you're still following them. It's just that they didn't man up and just have the difficult conversation that you sometimes have to have with people. Like, sometimes it's a difficult conversation that you have to be willing to have, So, if you remove the links I sent you on yesterday's stream, I might have to just PM you on Facebook. If that is okay, just look into your spam folder. Okay, you can send me the links that way, or you can email them to me, Grandizer. I'll put my email in the chat, so you could just email me the links if you want. Or I'm on Twitter too, so you could always DM me on Twitter. They let you do that, so you could do that as well. But I appreciate it. I did walk the mock, by the way. I think it was Aiden who suggested that. Unless you pay money, it looked kind of messy. It was it didn't look easy to use. So I won't call them. I just might unsubscribe. I boycott plenty of companies and never really express it. You know what? If you don't know who it is, that means I did a shitty job at promoting it, because I would say it every week. I'm going to be on this show every Sunday. I used to say it all the time. So if you don't know, you're probably not subscribed to it. Don't worry about it. It's not one of the main Jets YouTube content providers. It's not a Jets YouTube channel. So don't worry about it. I promise you. If you don't know, you're not subscribed, because you would have been on the channel watching me. I like to keep track of how my team reaches. Be interested if it could help. That's great, man. I love to keep tracks of college prospects too. And think of, like, I want that link, because I want to know who that they're talking to and who they're having the meetings with, for sure. St. Peter's is a nice local NJ story, but it ends today. I'm all Carolina all the time. Okay, I got you, brother. Okay, what's going on, Jeremy? All these picks are crazy, shoot, but it's fun to see and hear it for me. Walker and Linderbaum. I definitely don't have any problem if we ended up with Linderbaum. I'll tell you that. Edge is a tricky position for me, because to me it's just tossing. Like, it's just throwing darts. So no matter what, it scares me as hell. The edge is going to be the hardest position to have a guarantee at. Lindenbaum, what I like about him is he's a guarantee in my mind. He's as close to a guarantee as you can get. I mean, there's stories, but you have to go really deep. Like, remember Mandarich, what his name is? Whatever, the steroids guy, Jim McMahon. He would carry him on his shoulder in Sports Illustrated or something. And Green Bay took him, and it turned out he was a huge steroids freak. So you do have guys like that. But it's very, rare that somebody is so dominating, like in their position, like offensive line, and then somehow that doesn't translate. Like, to me, I mean, they're a bust all the time, or guys that aren't as good as you thought they were going to be. But Lindenbaum is a different animal. He's just different, man. I watch his tape. I don't see how that can not translate. It's like, because you compare him to any other center in college football, it's just not the same thing. It's a different level. It's like it's like me playing with my fifth graders. I mean, just knocking the kid over every time. That's what it looks like. It's just like he's so much better. That's what intrigues me about Lindenbaum. That he is pretty much a guarantee in my mind. And when you think about the Jets' offensive line, with Lindenbaum on it, the way it's set up right now, oh man, what an offensive line. That's like, we're getting into, like, if Becton stays healthy, we're talking about like Indianapolis Colts type of offensive line, And the next time you see them, you'll leave them in upper deck. An upper decker. What the hell? Sometimes I don't know what people are talking about, but you don't have Twitter. Okay, just email me, man. Does email work? I put the email in the chat. Make trades. They're good, but I don't think they do enough. TDN, the Draft Network. Oh, the Draft Network. Okay. That's easy to remember. I'll look at that. I may have stumbled across them by accident at times. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? You know what I mean? So it doesn't look like my guest is going to make it. So I'll tell you, maybe we'll have him on another time, because he did tell me he was sick. Let me see if he sent me a message on Twitter saying what's going on. I just wanted to have him on because it's an interesting story. He completely lost his voice. Okay. So he will not be joining us. I'll have him on a different time. So I have a friend in Ireland who's a friend of someone like to reply. What is the website you were talking about? I have a friend who, here he is. Captain Keto. Jeremy, apologize to you and the lads. I lost my voice. Been coughing up for 2 days. My throat is raw. Okay, so KaptainK Tekno, will do it a different time. He's done 2 things I find really interesting. One of them very specifically I'd want to talk about, and it's not related to the Jets as much as I'm going to start just saying Jet fans are the greatest fans in the world, and we have the highest quality fans in the world. And here's why. So Captain K has spent the last month doing 2 different things. One is a roadie for a Irish punk band, traveling through England and all that stuff. So I think that is amazingly awesome and fun, but more importantly, and tell me if I'm wrong, Captain, but I got the idea from what you told me that you actually went and delivered goods and support and help to the people in the Ukraine. And I really wanted to talk about that. Like, did you pack things up and have it sent? And you don't have to tell me in the chat. Like, we'll save it for the live show. But I was curious, did you actually go to the Ukraine? And I would love to talk about that. I would love to talk about what a great thing that is, and how proud I am that one of our Jets family people in our little community here did something like that. That's just so incredible. Jeremy, what up? What's up, New York Jets fan 4? Like, as in number 4? Watch out, number 4. They already got 1 and 2. They're going to find number 3. And number 9 might be like this hot blonde with an Australian accent that's going to come help you avoid them. But they're coming to get you, number 4. Don't ask me who. Funny looking guys, monsters that like to eat like raw steak. Yes. I'm going to I have to go play a video game with my wife. That's what she's waiting for. It's a game called It Takes Two on our PlayStation 5. You think JD tipped his hands on what receiver we will draft based on the Tyreek Hill, Garnett Wilson at them? I don't know, because it's hard to predict, JD, because JD is a guy who says, like, when he sees an opportunity, he takes it. So it doesn't mean, I mean, it means he recognizes that they want another great wide receiver. Some people are saying he won't draft one. He wants a veteran. And I don't know if that's true. I think he just saw an opportunity and he went for it. And if he had plans to draft before the opportunity came up, he may have had plans to draft one. I think if he sees an opportunity in free agency or trade to get someone and fill a hole that he likes, he does it. And if he doesn't do it that way, then he might look at the draft. But everybody that we've signed in free agency takes pressure off of the draft. So I think that would have taken pressure off of the draft. If we would have signed Tyreek Hill, maybe that means guaranteed we're not going wide receiver the first round. And I don't even think it's a guarantee for the second round, because if somebody slips, let's say Traylon Burks is there at 35. Even if he signed Tyreek Hill, he might say that's best value. I'm taking Burks because here's going to be a young guy that we're going to own, have the contract and control of for 5 years. So it's hard to know. It depends on who he likes. If he's in love with a receiver who is definitely not making it to the second round, then he has to do one of two things. First, he has to judge in his mind. He has to read the board. That's the hardest part a GM has to do, not only for making their own picks, but they have to read the board of what other teams will do and predict really well. People forget that part, right? You want to be able to read a board so you know what to do. Like, and when I say what to do, I mean, if you want to take Burks and he's your guy, but you think he's a guy that would go to pick 18 or he'd last into the 20s, low 20s, let's say. You don't want to take him at 10 if you don't have to, if there's a buyer. If you can get somebody to trade up to 10 and give you their second and third, then you trade down to 20, like Pittsburgh, for example, and you grab Burks. And now instead of grabbing Burks at 10, you're grabbing him at 20, but you've added a second and third round pick. And maybe you could take 2 of the 3 second rounders and trade up into the back of the first round and grab Nakobe Dean. I mean, so there's all kinds of different things that open up. If he loves Wilson, then Wilson, obviously, we know right now it looks like you have to take him at 10 if he's there. But you can't really go by the rankings of one website. If you look at other websites, Wilson doesn't necessarily go that early. So JD has to figure out make a real life ranking system that he thinks based on studying teams. And they have guys to do this. They have guys, believe me, there's people in the Jets OneDrive that are saying, this is what I think Jacksonville will do. This is what I think the Giants will do. Here are the different possibilities. They have all kinds of scenarios. And sometimes they're going to be wrong and sometimes they're going to be right. So we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't mind if they took Wilson. I wouldn't be angry. Whatever it is, it's like I feel both. I don't just feel the joy of who we pick. I always feel the sting of the cost. Right. So, the Jets take it number 10, Garrett Wilson. I'm like, yay, that's great. He might be amazing. We might have this great WR1 with Elijah Moore. This is going to be amazing. This is great. And at the same time, I'm going, we could have taken Jermaine Johnson. We could have taken Lindenbaum. We could have taken Hamilton if he was there. We could have taken, I also feel the opportunity cost of who we didn't get. I'm just like that. Like we trade back and we take Nakobe Dean, but we could have taken Lindenbaum. Because Lindenbaum freaking does amazing things. We're sick offensively. It's sick if you look at our offensive line with Lindenbaum. It's absolutely wild and crazy, right? But at the same time, if you have Traylon Burks and he works out, or Garrett Wilson, that's sick. Like, what if Garrett Wilson is an immediate kind of like a chase impact? What if he right away is catching big passes? He's a deep threat. We get a couple of bomb touchdowns to him, like 2 in the first 3 or 4 games, and he's just exploding. And we got Elijah Moore, who's like getting 5 to 7 like receptions. He's like a possession receiver that's, opening it up. And then you got Corey Davis doing his thing, making big third down catches, contested catches. Suddenly it's looking pretty good. So no matter what, there's I feel both. I feel the joy of who we pick, but I also feel the punch in the stomach of who we lose out on. Oh, you did go there. We have to hear about that, man. Only here on NFL Chaos with Jeremy do you get to actually talk to somebody who's been in the Ukraine during this invasion. How insane is that? Jets fan? Yes, sir. So you are number 4. I read an article, Google, that the 49ers could trade Deebo Samuels. I go for that. then with that pick we can get a DT. I would look if we were willing to give Hill $30 million and a bunch of picks. I think we would do it for Debo. Like we know JD, and it's hard to imagine he comes from the Niners. He's doing it in that system. It would be mind-boggling to me if the 49ers traded him. I wouldn't understand it. To me, the 49ers are Kittle and Debo. I mean, like when those two are healthy, that's when they win. You know, basically, well, their defense too. When their defense was healthy and they got through the injuries and they had their full defense, and Kittle and Debo were on the field, they might even been undefeated. You know what I mean? Like except for the playoff game, they're a force. They are a force. So I don't know. What's the point of getting rid of Jimmy G and having a cheap quarterback if you can't pay your superstar receiver? It doesn't make sense to me. If you're uncertain about which wide receiver to take at 10, trade it for DK. Hey, I have no problem with that too. I mean, we don't get a guy that's on the cheap for as long, and we're going to have to pay him. And right now, the WR market is really high, but apparently, we have the cap flexibility to do it. And sometimes, and you're right, if you're not sure and you don't want to take a risk, the benefit of trading draft capital and paying the big money is that we get a known entity, right? So that's never a bad thing. Second guessing. First rule of draft, never fall in love with players. Well, it's way too late for me, man. I fell in love with a bunch of players already. Is that a dog barking? Don't let him bite us. My dog barks a lot. Anytime somebody walks by, he barks. Anytime the wind blows, he barks. Anytime there's some rain, he barks. He's a barker. My dog, the barker. Hey, anyway, so my guest is not going to be here. I'm sorry about that. He's sorry about that. He lost his voice. We'll get him on next week or the week after that. We'll get him. I'm going to be on later on. The show for tonight is on. F them picks. Yeah, easy to say when you win a Super Bowl without picks. So I will be on later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for the draft duel with Dom. We're really excited. We have a very exciting format. Hey, make sure you like this video. If you haven't subbed to the channel and you happen to stumble in here, sub to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I'm live. You never know when I'm going to give away some fun stuff. I have a lot of stuff I give away. Football cards, basketball cards, Star Trek toys, Star Wars toys. You know, I better give something away tonight because I keep talking about how much I give away, and I haven't given enough away lately. I'll see you later, Nick. Glad you're going to be there. Take care, everybody. Until then, I leave you with this fun thing. I would regret it if people look back at the first episode and you weren't on it.
Yeah, well, I like that. It's called forward thinking.
One of the worst beats in the world. We do. Our beat is horrible.
Connor could shove that article up his ass.
And then I went to that game and I was like, this is the greatest team I've ever seen in my life. I'm a Jet fan. This is going to be the greatest run ever. Yeah.
No, because if they take Ekwonu, I'm not complaining.
Joe Douglas is the king of keeping shit close to the vest.
A 2, a 4, and a 6 for Darnold?
Did the Jets really ruin Sam Darnold? Or did Sam Darnold just suck all along and we were just trying to talk ourselves into it?
And Hamilton is a player who can potentially make a very big impact.
And suddenly here we are today, you can't get rid of him.
Right, it's like a plague.
Joe Douglas was hired because he's not those general managers.
Okay, Luscious.
Somebody is going to fall just like Elijah Moore did, just like Michael Carter did.
You know, what would, if you had one sentence to say to Joe Douglas, what would you say? So you would say, you had me at hello, and then give him a big old wet one.